I think what makes it even harder is how hushed it is and that people don't want to talk about. Finally had success in the third cycle.
Hello everyone, welcome to my show Life Raw and Real. This is Shaila here. আজকে আমাদের সাথে আছে a corporate lady, a perfect mother and a homemaker. সে সব জায়গাতেই সাকসেসফুলি তার রোল পালন করছে. Let's welcome Durba to my show. Welcome Durba to my show.
Thank you so much for having me.
আচ্ছা, আজকে আমি তোমার কাছ থেকে জানতে চাই তোমার আর্লি লাইফ অ্যান্ড তোমার জার্নি.
I was born in Jamshedpur আর আমি ইন্ডিয়াতে অনেক জায়গায় থেকেছি বাবার চাকরির সূত্রে. অনেক মুভ করেছি, 7টা স্কুলে পড়েছি. তারপরে চেন্নাইতে ইঞ্জিনিয়ারিং পড়েছি অ্যান্ড দেন আমি মেলবোর্ন এসেছি আমার ডাবল মাস্টার্স করতে.
আচ্ছা.
তারপরে মাস্টার্স শেষ করে বিয়ে হয় 2010-এ অ্যান্ড দেন আমি সিডনি আসি.
তোমার কি অ্যারেঞ্জ ম্যারেজ না লাভ ম্যারেজ?
না, লাভ ম্যারেজ.
আচ্ছা. তো you got married in Sydney, so your husband was here already or?
I knew him since I was 13 years old. আমাদের মা বাবার family friends ছিল চেন্নাইতে and we met in Chennai Bengal Association. But so we got married in India, but he was already in Sydney. So I moved here Melbourne থেকে to Sydney after I got married.
আচ্ছা. So তুমি বললে তোমার 7 স্কুল চেঞ্জ হয়েছে, তো মানে এত চেঞ্জের মধ্যে হাউ ডিড ইউ কোপ আপ?
আমার মনে হয় there was good and bad in that. আমার মা বাবা they both have taught me to be very strong and আমার ওই I think I have got that perseverance and that resilience and strength in character from my father and from my mother, which I think later in my life has helped me significantly in my professional life. Even small things like আমার মা বাবা have never said you have to do this. They always said if you do this, this will happen. So I was taught in the very consequential way. So I think that has helped me become a good decision maker.
Open conversation.
A good decision maker, whether it comes to personal life or professional life. And যেমন আমার বাবা মা খুব এনকারেজিং ছিল কিছু জিনিস নিয়ে as well. যেমন আমার বাবা তখনকার দিনে তো ইন্টারনেট ছিল না, তো ইকোনমিক টাইমসে ছোট ছোট পেপার কেটে আনতো আর বলতো এই দেখ একতা কাপুর এই করছে, নানান মহিলারা কে কি করছে, ইন্দ্রা নুই বড় হচ্ছে, এই হচ্ছে, examples and that used to be doctors, that used to be people from all areas, like successful women basically. But then for them the successful woman was always portrayed in a very wholesome way. You have to grow up, you have to be a good person, you have to be a strong character, you have to be a working professional that must aim to touch the sky, and yet be grounded enough and be fiercely independent but a good human being with a lot of empathy as well. And I think all of that put together has shaped me to be who I am and also helped me go through this journey.
Absolutely. আচ্ছা, তুমি বললে তুমি মেলবোর্নে ছিলে আর তোমার হাজবেন্ড সিডনিতে ছিল, then you moved to Sydney, so it was planned or how did it happen?
It was planned. So আমরা ইন্ডিয়াতে when we started seeing each other and then he decided to move to Sydney, so he came here to do his masters as well, and then আমি তার 6 মাস পরে I came to Melbourne, which was planned again.
Acha.
But we didn't want to live in the same city before we got married.
Okay.
So
family
restrictions, yes. So and that's why he studied in UTS and I went to RMIT, and then I finished studying, and then we got married and we came here. So it was all so it was all very planned.
Okay, that's nice. It's a really good love story which got really good success.
Touch wood so far.
So এতদিনের রিলেশনশিপের পরে যখন তোমরা ফ্যামিলি লাইফ স্টার্ট করলে কেমন ছিল? লাইক ইট ওয়াজ চ্যালেঞ্জিং অর এনি স্ট্রাগল ডিড ইউ ফেস? কারণ আমি যতটা মানে বুঝতে পারি যে প্রেমের সময় একটা লাইফ অ্যান্ড বিয়ে করে 24 আওয়ার্স কারোর সাথে থাকাটা একটু ডিফারেন্ট, বাট তোমার কি এক্সপিরিয়েন্স ছিল?
Definitely অনেকটাই different because আমরা তো culturally we have not learned to live together before বিয়ের আগে অনেকটাই different but to be honest আমি বলবো না এটা struggle ছিল but as a couple we had a lot of goals we wanted to achieve
ওকে
so তো আমাদের ফোকাসটা খুব ডিফারেন্ট ছিল কেন আমাদের অ্যাকচুয়ালি উই থট আমাদের একটু তাড়াতাড়ি বিয়ে দিয়ে দেওয়া হয়েছিল লেফট টু আস আমরা হয়তো আরো 1-2 বছর পরে বিয়ে করতাম কেন যখন বিয়ে হয় তখন আই ওয়াজ 24 হি ওয়াজ 27
ভেরি ইয়াং
সো তো আমাদের তো বিকজ উই গট ম্যারিড আর্লি আমাদের উই হ্যাড আদার গোলস তো প্রথমে চাকরি পেতে হবে কেন আমি তো মেলবোর্নে চাকরি ছেড়ে চলে এসেছিলাম চাকরি পেতে হবে চাকরিতে সেটেল করতে হবে we wanted to buy a house we wanted to travel we wanted to do all those things so I think the initial few years was all
you guys were busy about
planning and very goal oriented
achieving
ticking
all the things,
the boxes
ticking
having our own checklist and ticking the only thing I'm very grateful for is that we had that same checklist which is and we
really
agreed
good.
with that checklist so which helped us to achieve the goals together
তো ওখানে কি ফ্যামিলি প্ল্যানিং এর জিনিসটাও ছিল or how did it happen
হ্যাঁ ফ্যামিলি প্ল্যানিং ছিল অ্যান্ড আমাদের জাস্ট ছিল we wanted to achieve all of these but we did have a time frame because of the so-called biological clock and we said that ঠিক আছে you know we want to achieve all of these things but my 30 is the cutoff and whether we achieve or we don't we will start thinking about having a family you know when I turn 30 thankfully with God's grace we were able to tick all the boxes achieve everything 30. And much more I would say with God's grace so by the time we got to I was 30 and he was 33 we felt it was the right time to start thinking about a family yes
আচ্ছা আমাদের তো এখানে ম্যাক্সিমামেরই ফ্যামিলির কেউ থাকে না তোমার ক্ষেত্রেও বিগিনিং এ হয়তো সেটাই ছিল তো তখন তোমার ফ্যামিলির কেউ ছিল না উইদাউট এনি সাপোর্ট ডিড ইউ ফিল এনি চ্যালেঞ্জেস টু প্ল্যান ফ্যামিলি
দেখো টু বি অনেস্ট আমি অলওয়েজ জানতাম যে once I conceive and you know and I have a child আমার মা বাবা আমার শ্বশুর শাশুড়ি will always be here to support me সেটা আমি সেটা they had always সেটা আমি সেই সাপোর্টটা আমি আগের থেকে জানতাম ছিল but what happened in our case is that our journey was quite tough because amra like every other couple when we decided to start a family amra kokhono bhabini it would take us so long because there was no apparent reason for it we both were young we both were healthy and we regularly we used to exercise a lot back in the day we used to you know
eat
have
healthy and
eat
like
healthy
a normal life.
have you know we even from when I was 24-25 we used to do regular blood tests just to make sure that we were overall
concerned
healthy
about everything
concerned we were very health conscious so we never thought there was that we would end up taking so long to have a child so we tried you know things didn't work out and then we tried a lot of alternative medicines like naturopathy ayurveda you name it Chinese medicine and a lot of it and then about 2 years after that we realized that we probably needed help and we started seeing doctors and the challenge we really had was that every test was perfect and medically no one could find a reason any reason
and that's more frustrating
that was extremely frustrating and because being an analytical person myself for me if there is a problem there has to be a solution
correct
and if something is not working out means there is a problem but what is the problem is what no one's able to find going from doctor to doctor going to different places and then we decided that okay you know if it has to be going down the path of you know assisted fertility like IVF we rather do it early than later because everyone keeps talking about the biological clock
yes
anyways
correct, yeah
so I was 32 and my husband was 35 when we decided that we needed
You
to
wanted
go
to do
down.
IVF.
Yeah.
তুমি যেই কথাটা শেয়ার করলে আমরা অনেকেই অনেক আনইজি ফিল করি এই ব্যাপারগুলো নিয়ে কথা বলতে স্টিল বাট ইউ আর সো ব্রেভ, ইউ আর শেয়ারিং ইউর জার্নি উইথ আস, অ্যান্ড ইফ ইউ ক্যান জাস্ট সে লিটল বিট মোর অ্যাবাউট ইট।
So it's a it is the process itself is a big commitment. তো আমার মনে হয় যে going down into the process means it needs commitment from both partners, because it is a fairly daunting journey. It is emotionally draining. It is physically very taxing, and also it is definitely very expensive, particularly if done privately.
So have you done privately or publicly?
Yes, we went down with the private path. Yeah, so
But why was it like, why?
দেখো, I wouldn't say one is better than the other, but we can only go by what we read and what we see.
Absolutely.
And আমি যখন শুরু করেছি, it was back 2017, তো ভাবো এখন থেকে 8 বছর আগে, and we can only go by what we are seeing on the internet. So আমি তখন পড়ে দেখলাম যে the success rates of private clinics was higher, at least appeared higher. আমি জানি না এখন if that's how
এখন the scenario কি আছে,
scenario actually key, and whether the private clinics advertise better and the public clinics don't, I don't know. কিন্তু যেটা পড়ছি সেটাই তো বিশ্বাস করব। তো তো সেই হিসেবে প্রথমে I chose to go for a private clinic, but তারপরে a few of my friends that are doctors as well, তারাও recommend করলো private, because look, the success of this treatment depends on two major things. Acta, obviously the ability of the fertility specialist, the doctor itself, and arekta hoche a lot of work is done in the laboratory by the scientists, by the embryologists.
Yep.
So you need a good doctor plus a laboratory with state of the art facilities.
Correct.
And dutor combination e amar onek bondhura bollo je to go for private, because in the private path, your fertility specialist is monitoring you on a day-to-day basis.
Okay, yeah.
Whereas in a public path, it could be different doctors seeing you every day,
More
and
one-to-one help in private.
Yeah, it's more one-to-one help in private, and it is a very dynamic treatment. So because every human body is different, people respond to medication differently.
Absolutely.
So a doctor starts with one medication today, and then you go through a lot of blood tests and scans, and on a day-to-day basis, your medication, the dosage going up, going down can change depending on how your body is responding to that medication.
Yeah.
So that's why I chose to go down the private path, because I had the one doctor monitoring me on a day-to-day basis.
You wanted that comfort. আচ্ছা, আমরা তো শুনেছি IVF এর জার্নিটা ফিজিক্যালি ইটস ভেরি ডিফিকাল্ট। সো তোমার হেলথ কি করে রেসপন্ড করেছে, অ্যান্ড তোমার কেমন ছিল এই ব্যাপারগুলো? হাউ ডিড ইউ হ্যান্ডেল ইট?
It is very tough, and definitely দেখো, it's injecting a lot of hormones, তো শরীরের উপর তো একটা এফেক্ট হবেই। But like I said একদম at the start, that it is a process that requires commitment from both partners, and my husband stood like absolute rock. Mane he was there. Ami ekhono raga, now looking back, I say that you were my nurse or my compounder when I was injecting myself, like একটা while ধরে দাঁড়িয়ে আছে, syringe ধরে দাঁড়িয়ে আছে, that level of support.
That's a big support.
Our family also was very supportive, my in-laws, my parents, কোনো দিন আমাকে I never felt the pressure যে কেন হচ্ছে না। They always said that be happy, যা করার করো, take it easy. If things will work out, if it's meant to be, things will work out. So আমার সেমনি হবে, যেমন অনেকের প্রচুর ফ্যামিলি প্রেশার থাকে, আমার সেসব কিছু ছিল না। না, আমার কিছু ছিল না। যা প্রেশার ছিল সেটা আমি নিজের ওপর দিচ্ছিলাম, because I wanted a baby, and also because I'm the only child for my parents, so I am the only option away for my parents to become grandparents. So ওই যা প্রেশার আমি নিজের ওপর দিচ্ছিলাম।
ফিল করছিলাম।
আরেকটা হচ্ছে, তুমি যে বলছো on changes on my body, we have to think back to a time যখন আমি শুরু করেছি 2018-এ আমরা সবাই ফুল টাইম কাজ করছি আর তখন ওয়ার্ক ফ্রম হোমের কনসেপ্ট ছিল না, দিস ওয়াজ অল প্রি কোভিড, 5 days অফিস যেতে হতো। অফকোর্স এখানে ক্লিনিক্স আর ভেরি আন্ডারস্ট্যান্ডিং অ্যান্ড অ্যাপয়েন্টমেন্টস আর অল আর্লি ইন দ্য মর্নিং, বাট দিনের পর দিন, মাসের পর মাস, বছরের পর বছর সেই সকাল 5:30টার সময় উঠে 7টার সময় ব্লাড টেস্টটা স্ক্যান করি, 8টায় দৌড়ে দৌড়ে অফিস যাওয়া, প্রত্যেকটা অ্যাপয়েন্টমেন্টের জন্য অফিস থেকে পারমিশন নেওয়া, যদিও আগেন I've been in the same company for a long time and our office was very understanding, my boss, but still সব সময় বলতেও খারাপ লাগে আজকে আবার ডাক্তারের কাছে যেতে হবে, আজকে আবার নার্সের থেকে ওষুধ তুলতে হবে, কালকে আবার এই করতে যেতে হবে, তো এত thankfully everyone was very understanding and very supportive. So that's why আমি always বলি যে yes, it was a difficult journey, but I feel very privileged and I say with utmost humility that I'm very blessed because আমার হাজব্যান্ড এত সাপোর্টিভ, মা বাবা, শ্বশুর শাশুড়ি অ্যান্ড ইভেন ওয়ার্ক প্লেস, যে আমার সেসব দিকে কোনোদিন কোনো অসুবিধা হয়নি।
সো ইফ ইউ ডোন্ট মাইন্ড মি আস্কিং, ইট ওয়াজ সাকসেসফুল ইন দ্য ফার্স্ট ইয়ার?
না, I had to have multiple cycles, so I finally had success in the third cycle. So it was a long journey with so started in 2018 and finally was able to fall pregnant in early 2021.
Okay.
With the couple, after 3 years, with about 2 surgeries in between and multiple attempts.
Lots of ups and downs.
Yes, lots of ups and downs. Yeah, lots of uncertainty and and the thing is, this is a process where you can give it everything, but there is no guarantee of success. So you can do it all, but you never know.
I think you need to be just positive and hopeful. That's all you can do.
Yes, that's all you can do. And a lot of my friends actually always asked me, how long will you keep going? Because it was such a long journey and you build your hopes high, you go through the cycle and then you think you're very close and then all your hopes come crashing down when things don't happen, and it's very up and down. So
lots of unhappy moments.
Yes, absolutely. And a lot of my friends kept asking me, how long will you do it? And I always said one thing, that I would do till something breaks me. And that is very either I am not able to deal with it physically anymore, or a doctor tells me perhaps that it is not medically possible anymore, or I'm or I just don't feel like anymore, because like I said again, my husband, he always said, it is your body, you do as many times as you want to, as long as you want to, I will support you, but no questions asked the day you decide not to.
This is a big support.
Absolutely. So but yes, I also kept going because I felt that there is limited time for this process. When I'm 50, even if I want, I cannot physically, or it is not physically or biologically possible anymore.
Yes.
So I didn't want to be sitting at 50 and regretting that I had all the possible resources, I had the privilege, I live in a city like Sydney with access to such good medical treatment.
Yes.
I with God's grace, financially sound enough to support it, was able to manage it physically with a full-time job, yet I didn't do it. So I didn't want to live with that regret. So I just wanted to keep going until such time that I felt I cannot do it anymore.
But touch wood, you had a very good success after all these ups and downs. We have Rishi with us. Yes. And I just wanted to ask, do you want to recommend any doctor or any special private clinic for my viewers?
See, I definitely, I would say, and I always said this to everybody when people said congratulations, when I finally saw success, I always said it is congratulations to God. I think Rishi is an outcome of everybody's prayers. He's an outcome
Absolutely.
of positive thinking and manifestation, absolutely. But the congratulations truly, I think, God and then the doctors. And for me, my fertility specialist was Dr. Warren Chan.
Okay.
And I also had a very complicated pregnancy, and my obstetrician was Dr. Monica Mukherjee.
Okay.
And they both were absolutely amazing. I mean, from from a competency perspective as well as from a humanity perspective, I would say, like extremely professional yet very gentle and kind and empathetic.
Durba, I must say it's very sensitive topic, but তুমি still আমাদের সবার সাথে share করলে publicly. You were comfortable with answering all those questions?
হ্যাঁ, I was comfortable and আমি এটা অ্যাকচুয়ালি একটা কারণে করি বিকজ পার্সোনালি আমার like we've already discussed যে it's a difficult journey.
It's a difficult
কিন্তু I think what makes it even harder is how hushed it is and that people don't want to talk about it.
Absolutely.
And to be honest, আমার first cycle I went with a very reputable doctor, but things didn't work out for me. And the only way you can find information about কে ভালো কোনটা অনেক সময় even GPs are not aware, and and the only way I had got information about my first doctor, for example, was through another friend that had a successful outcome with that doctor. But things didn't work out for me with in my first cycle with that doctor. And আমার honestly Dr. Warren Chan কে খুঁজে পেতে আমার 8-9 মাস লেগেছে. I can guarantee you আজকে আমার এই হাতের কোনো প্রবলেম থাকলে আমার কিন্তু 8-9 মাস লাগতো না একটা ডক্টরকে খুঁজতে. আমি 20টা লোককে ফোন করে কোনো পাবলিক ফোরামে দিয়ে I could have found out a good specialist that can treat my arm. But এটা এমন একটা জিনিস that I cannot call 20 people because it's not just about not telling 20 people, it's also about all the unsolicited advice that comes from all these and that 20 will go to another 50 and another 100 and people become nosy and all sorts of things. So I think it's just really hard to even find the right doctor in the first place, so আমি আর আমার হাজব্যান্ড অলওয়েজ এটা নিয়ে কথা বলতাম যে why can't we just be open about it? আমরা তো কারোর ক্ষতি করছি না, আমরা কোনো খারাপ কিছু করছি না, but why are we just being why is everyone so hushed about it?
Yes.
So আমি আমার হাজব্যান্ডকে অলওয়েজ বলতাম যে কোনোদিন যদি if there is light at the end of the tunnel, কোনোদিন if we get out of this, I am going to be open about it and I am going to talk to people about it যাতে যদি আমার জার্নি বা আমার এক্সপিরিয়েন্স gives hope or or even helps somebody else, it's worthwhile me sharing my story.
Absolutely.
And so I'm not sure if you know যে Facebook in a lot of public forums women anonymously post questions on all of this.
Yes.
And I always write to all those women and I say that please message me directly. And I've had calls in the last 3.5 years. I have had calls from multiple unknown women and I have spoken to them. Many of them 3 months, 6 months, 1 year later have even come back and thanked me to say, thank you for sharing your story. I am now pregnant. Things have worked out for me. So, and I think that is my small way of giving back because I honestly suffered in silence for a long time because I just didn't know who to talk to. And I just felt that in my small way I could give my voice to help those people.
That's so nice of you. Thank you, Durba, for sharing your story here. Thank you so much for coming to my show.
Thank you for having me. And if anyone's watching this and is going through this journey, good on you. You are very brave and that's why you are here, and wishing you all the best. It will all work out.